So here we are, towards the end of a week full of demos to enjoy thanks to Steam's Next Fest. Due to my demo diving series, these events do wonders in keeping my catalog of demos fully stocked so I can hopefully uncover some hidden gems for viewers to see in an attempt to find the right audience. There's always a wide variety in the quality of games, but through the more rough games, there always seems to be a handful that pique my interest, and I wanted to share my favorites with you. Now, I will say that while Shadow of the Road was officially released in this Next Fest, due to the fact that I've already covered it extensively in a previous video, I didn't really want to throw it on this list. But head on over to check out my video on it if you do want to know my thoughts on the experience. With all that being said, let's jump on into the list of games that stood out during my time playing as many demos as I could throughout the week. Let's get this list started off with a game that makes you work with your friend to solve puzzles.
In space!
Together, Moon Escape is a somewhat asymmetric co-op game that really started to pick up as the game progressed. There was kind of a minor hiccup at the beginning regarding a toilet puzzle, but once the game opened up, especially when it gave me a gun to shoot enemies that only my partner could see, it really hammered home the teamwork that will be needed to succeed. There's bits of humor spread around the playing spaces, and there is a little bit of jank around the game, but the experience as a whole is definitely worth it in my opinion, but you should give this a shot if you're looking to scratch that puzzler itch. Maybe you and your friends are looking for something a bit more chaotic and visceral instead of cerebral. Then you may want to check out the next game on this list, and that is Tears of Metal. This medieval hack-and-slash co-op roguelike sees you take progression from games like Hades and puts you on a battlefield with plenty of enemies to destroy like in a Dynasty Warriors game. The overworld map sees you trying to fight back against an enemy invasion, but wandering around the overworld for too long will give the enemy time to ready themselves and make your next battle that much more difficult. I made a few solo runs and a couple of runs through co-op, and the overall impression is that it feels like a great game to mindlessly hack and slash your way through. There were a few gripes that I had, but they were all wiped away when you realize you get to do this.
Score one!
In all honesty, I did enjoy my time with it enough to keep it on the radar for when it does release sometime this year, but check out the demo if it looks like it would be something you would enjoy. One genre I didn't expect myself to become invested in was the anthropomorphic detective genre. Duck Detective is a pinnacle in this world with creative writing, lovable characters, and the ability to let out your frustrations. But the next game on this list is looking to fight for some of the spotlight, and that is the game Dino Cop. In the world of Dino Cop, dinosaurs were brought back to life, and apparently none of them wanted to be a cop, so the humans specifically created you, the only dinosaur in law enforcement. Setting off with your ability to sniff out crime and utilizing a trusty magnifying glass, you are sent to the Cretaceous Hotel to crack the case and discover who brought human meat to the Dinosaur Rights Convention. The premise of this world is a little absurd but really unique, and the timed events will unfold whether you choose to participate them or not, making you have to decide what leads to track down. Similar to Duck Detective, the main case will likely only be solvable once you have solved a handful of minor cases, and Dino Cop makes sure to bring its charm to the forefront, despite some of the darker undertones that are present. Releasing on November 6th, make sure to keep this on your radar if it seems like it's going to be a good time for you. A list is never complete on this channel without at least one deck building game making an appearance, and I will say that there were plenty of options. I initially thought about choosing to put Barrel Roll on this list, but the demo was just a tad bit short for me to fully feel like I wanted to make it the deck building nominee on this, although it was really enjoyable. What I am going to put on the list instead is the Spirit Lift. This game ended up scratching that 90s retro horror theme that I didn't really know I was looking for. In Spirit Lift, you create a team of 3 teens who work through a haunted multi-tiered building, with each level requiring you to clear out all the rooms before being able to proceed upwards. The unique aspects that stood out to me is how best to utilize the combination of cards between each character, as they're all very asymmetric, and the game becomes very difficult due to the lack of a reliable source of healing. I would like to see more of what this game has to offer, but after a handful of runs, it shows a lot of potential. Without an official release date, it may be a little bit before we get our hands on the full experience, so make sure to head on over to the demo to see if it'll be your next deck building fix. The last game on this list is reserved for the game that I think had the biggest impact on me, and that is the game Lort. This co-op action roguelite allows you to team up with up to 7 other players to battle, loot, and stack ridiculous power-ups across a cursed fantasy world. My first attempt was a little chaotic, but unlocking new characters and being able to better understand what to do while free roaming the world made my second run with a friend move this game to the top of my wish list. There's plenty to do and discover, but be wary, as when day turns to night, enemies will spawn and harass you in your various quests. Everything is over the top and outrageous, but it makes the whole experience fun and engaging, and although there's no official release date, the current release window shows that it should come out sometime this year, and regardless of when it does come out, this is definitely one you need to play with your friends. And that was some highlights from this current Steam Next Fest. Let me know what you think and make sure to give these a shot at while there's still time. While I did get through several demos, there are still several I need to get to, and if you believe I missed anything, let me know so I can check it out. But with that, that'll be it for this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and as always, be kind to one another. Shoutouts go to Relativity, Naughty Dog is King, Chaos, and Kamiklo alongside all those subbed to the channel. If you haven't joined the Discord server, use the link in the description so you don't miss out on the fun, but either way, I will see you soon.